big mountain that they had to climb today, and again, it'll get easier for Levante and play against Eibar.
Dangerous.
Oh, he's in! There you go!
And he sneaks it home at the near post. Doesn't want to celebrate against his parent club, but his Levante teammates will do it for him.
Yeah. Springing out of the closet here. A good, beautiful run. And then he's onside by the looks of that level.
Although that move towards the ball by Jose Luis against his parent club.
Of that level.
Although that move went off the board.
I'm not so sure.
Beautiful ball in front. And they are waiting. Hey, look how far back they ended up going to legitimize that earlier goal. 4 or 5 passes earlier to find out Benzema was just on.
Take a look here. They converge on him, but somehow he squeezes it through. Now is this touch? I don't see any touch, Phil.
No, but moving for the ball would be a question, but VAR says it's good. So Levante's comeback begins. Regardless of what happens in this one, that goal something for Paco Lopez to build on. Team didn't just roll over. And if they can find a second, remember at this point Morales has been held in check, but if Levante finds a second, all of a sudden that white collar gets a little tight around the neck. Benzema, Vinicius, Ramon stepping in, but
so quick, Vinicius Jr.
And thinks quickly as well. Blocked by Aitor. Hamas into the chest of Duarte. Letico pushing it wide. Remember, Levante got off to a good start last year. We're ahead of Real Madrid after the opening day, and actually climbed back ahead of Madrid by round 10. That was the point Lopetegui was dismissed. But then things started to get a little wobbly, and they had to fight just to stay alive. Finishing 15th. Deflected away straight to Rochina. Looking for the home run ball. Long for Morales. Ramos back deep. Morales sneaks in. Drops to the spot, but no one there but Kroos.
Well played by Morales. He's looking for Mayoral. Not able to stop his run and check back. Good play down that right side by the 32-year-old. Look at how quick he is. It's just that first few yards from Vinicius. Very close. And then Hamas not able to just wrap his foot around it, as they say, and get a cleaner strike. But again, good goalkeeping by Aitor.
Dropping it, getting it back. Starting to look more and more comfortable. He's been around so long, you forget he's still just 22. Maybe finally coming into his own.
Nice lead.
Offside goal for Vasquez. Yesterday in a scoreless draw. A strange one, but Mallorca grabs a point against second place Athletic at home. Get him on to the inside. This match brought to you in part by Geico. Ramon can't get it past Marcelo. Nice lunge by the Brazilian. Leganés Villarreal to follow this match. Then Action in the afternoon. Atletico at Sociedad and Barça against Valencia. Nice for Borja's debut. Fourth goal of his, after 3 goals last year, now his first of this season. This was swing away from Courtois. Big Belgian drops to his goal line, nodded wide. They'll try it again. Eibar Espanyol to start things out in the early match tomorrow. Alaves Sevilla, Celta Granada, Valladolid Osasuna, and Betis Getafe on the Sunday. Burgos coming in trying to make sure things stay calm. Again from the flank, Campagna. Launches into the 6. Ramos. Rochina again, but an easy grab for Courtois. And it looks like the first change of the day about to come Levante's way. It's Macedonian Messi and it's Bardi. He was very good with the pass, even better with the free kick. Ramos, Courtois, Borja late stepping up. Gets there in time, though, on the missed touch by Carvajal. Dish into the middle. Rochina across. And Borja barking at the midday sun. Quick thinking.
Oh, bad giveaway though, Phil, from Carvajal. He's had a good first half for sure, and he holds his hand up straight away for the apologies, and he cost his team a goal. Would have really tightened this game up, and Mayoral wanting that ball fed back into him.
Taking out the Montenegrin defensive midfielder, sticking in the Montenegrin attacking midfielder. Bardi for Vukcevic. I mentioned the free kicks. Only Lionel Messi in recent years has done better than Enes Bardi's conversion rate. So Real Madrid might not want to foul too close to the area. Benzema for Marcelo, who stays forward, back to the Frenchman, who's a goal from a hat trick. Thomas keeps it moving. Carvajal, a little bump. Down goes Benzema, grabbing his ribs. Gross. Carvajal again. Vasquez couldn't get the engine started.
Been a lot more scrappy and disjointed in this second half, and that is the lead up to a wonderfully finished goal by Mayoral, and a warning saying that Real Madrid need to refine their focus that was so impressive in the first half. The second half, they've came out of the locker room a little bit tawdry.
Close. Thought about it. Sneaks it forward, Benzema. Drives on 2. Oh, dance to the middle. Curls it! And he's denied by the post. And Vinicius can't catch it cleanly on the rebound.
It's a squib by Vinicius Jr., but it's delightful from Benzema, who skips the light fantastic and then pulls his shot beautifully and curls it, and Vinicius cannot strike through it cleanly. But there again, look at this wonderful strike that beats Aitor, all ends up, doesn't need to look up, uses the upright as his reference point too well, and applaudable indeed. But big white skinny friend of the goalkeeper saves Levante from number 4. Beautiful from Benz.
This is the moment that many have been waiting for. Florentino Perez, perhaps more than most. Eden Hazard on the sideline, about to make his Real Madrid debut. Getting that last half hour, perhaps. Will it be Vasquez who exits? Vinicius? Probably most likely. And Zidane with a little word of wisdom to the new Real playmaker.
Well, there'll be words of music in his ears, of course. Hazard certainly been telling everybody this was the man who was my idol growing up.
Real
child, and had pictures of him all over his wall, as we all did as kids. And Hazard loved Zidane, and now he's playing under him. Amazing.
Gets the bounce, but good by Carvajal. Levante keeping the pressure on, and the handball against Bardi.
Intentional handball as well. It should be a yellow card, but the referee showing the quality of mercy is not strained.
And it's Casemiro? Oh, it seems that's the Burgos is telling him to head away, it seems, but looks like there could be another substitution in the background as well, checking in. Eder Militao will be checking in. And that'll be the first swap. Casemiro will exit. So Toni Kroos will probably drop back into that holding spot. And Eden Hazard will slide in alongside James. Because Vasquez could also play a bit of a midfield role. So the debut for the big money Belgian, and Sergio Ramos getting a bit of a breather. Mentioned earlier, Champions League on the horizon, and a trip to Paris to take on Keylor Navas and PSG awaiting midweek. And then another road trip at Ramos's old Sevilla. So a very telling stretch for Real Madrid. Militao on the left side, where he played with Marquinhos. Militao victimized by Peru in that loss. See if he learned anything. Nice little flick. Vinicius looking more and more comfortable on the right. Vasquez. James. Back heel. Hazard.
Magic!
Vinicius. And blocked away by Postigo. This is the way it's supposed to be played.
Still not over. Look at this.
Vinicius drags it. Slapped. The rebound parried. Still loose in the 6. And Vinicius sweeps it home.
Comedy of errors by Levante. But it doesn't matter anyhow. They're laughing all the way. Seeing this one wiped off, but beautiful football prior to those. The complete Gatling gun of opportunities in front of Aitor Fernandez. But what a ball played by James to find Eden Hazard. It comes to Vinicius.
James in an offside position here as he makes a move for the rebound.
Yep.
So that one legitimately will come back. But as you pointed out, Ray, the promise of things to come almost delivered.
Yeah. A ball played in to James, where it was a blind pass with his back heel on the volley to find Eden Hazard, and very close for a spectacular goal. But as you said, Phil, the promise of things to come and what dreams may come for this Real Madrid talent-laden squad. This is the one, and the flag takes all of its time to come up. And right here, you see, and Vinicius slingshots it home.
even though that will not count. For Zinedine Zidane, there'll be a little mark there because, again, in some ways, James competing with Hazard for playing time, but if they can connect like that on a regular basis, they'll both be out there.
Well, visionary footballers, as I said, for me, the ex-Envigado man, the Colombiano, a wonderful visionary player. And I think it's every goal that we've had scored today has went to VAR.
Now, the angle, remember, James was closer to the camera, maybe throwing the angle off a little bit, which is why they're looking so closely at what appeared to be a clear offside. It's the moment the ball is touched, that impact, that instant of impact is when the play is judged, and they're trying to find out perfectly. As you alluded to earlier, though, the fourth goal for Real Madrid, does it need to be this perfect a call for this much time to elapse? Or are we starting to steal the soul from the game?
Well, if it's offside, it's offside. It's as simple as that, no matter which way you cut it, by the interpretation of the law.
Let's see if we can draw a few lines, but there, the brilliance.
Yeah. And I don't care if it's a goal or not now after seeing that again. Wonderful from James. This one should put the game to bed with 4 hot water bottles, but it's still being debated. And now there you go. Offside.
Yep. Now again, if that had come off of a defender, we run into a whole new set of clauses to the laws of the game. But the goalkeeper parrying it away, and that one will come off. So offside against James, denying Real a fourth. They've tried 3 different formations, Ray, and it does seem to be settling back into that 4-3-3. And it looks like Melero getting set to check in for Levante. Off to the races, Hazard. Benzema makes the curling run. Hazard hesitates, shoots, and denied by Fernandes.
Well, they'll love this, and their hands will be bleeding applauding this by the man who has a biohazard number on his back. Every time he gets the ball, he's dangerous. Wonderful, beautiful touches. When we see it again, Phil, there's 2-3 times he could have pulled the trigger, but he waited for the exquisite moment, but he was denied again by a wonderful goalkeeper who's a one-man battleship on that line here today.
Rochina only as far as Kroos. Vasquez, who's also been active today, sweeps it across. Blocked by Fernandes.
Quickness of Hazard again on display. Wonderful. Sharpness from the ex-Chelsea man.
7 years at Stamford Bridge.
Started at Lille, and he really was starting to fluff his footballing feathers and announce to the world, and then Chelsea said we'll have a bit of that. Now he's at his dream home, his dream of a footballer in his childhood days. Zidane is leading him the way.
A trip against Rochina.
Started the pre-season decidedly unfit and a little out of shape, unquestionably, Eden Hazard, but they've taken the time with him, got him past the injuries as Levante makes some substitutions, and still in with a fighter's chance here. And it's going to have to be a Mohamed Ali performance to bring them back into this.
Although remember, in the last game against Valladolid, they scored late and seemed to be destined for victory until Guardiola scored with just 2 minutes left to salvage a point. Of course, Levante still with 2 more goals to make up, but it's been done.
For sure.
Coming back from an offside position.
Let's not forget as well, Paco Lopez is the man who ended that Barcelona unbeaten league run when his team were in a similar high-scoring game. In that game, Levante come out 5-4 winners.
Roger Martí scored the clinching penalty last year for Levante's shocker. Militao, Courtois, Varane. Kind of interesting. Casemiro you could almost see with the yellow card, even though he has a reputation. He tends not to get reds, but why risk it? Sergio Ramos may be a little bit more of an interesting one. Maybe Zidane, realizing at his age and stage, trying to preserve the legs a bit for the later part of the season. In for Morales, and again the pass coming late. Offside again.
It's closer than we thought.
Three changes. Melero, Martí, and Bardi out there. Still one to go for Real Madrid. Mondi and Jovic are there. Jovic, of course, could probably use a little time to build some confidence, but also the young Brazilian Rodrigo on the bench. Now allowed as an extra European player. Maybe to make his Real debut.
Sharp again.
Dummied through for Marcelo. Kroos. Spots Marcelo. Sneaks it in. Vinicius with a clash off his head. Wide for the goal kick. And again, it seems so clear. Not sure why it took about 3 minutes to get the decision, but 20 minutes remain. Up steps Militao. James. Vinicius settles, shoots, and denied by another stellar stop by Fernandes.
Well, it's wonderful by Aitor, but Vinicius knows he should have put this one away. Again, a 19-year-old settles it beautifully and gets onto it as quickly as he can, but can it steer it? Again, it's the frog's hair away from making the right decision with the angle of his strike. You've got to give more credit to the goalkeeper, as you just did, Phil, than it being a miss of any sort of big proportions by Vinicius Jr. What a ball for him to latch onto.
With these changes, Levante changing their formation a bit. Marcelo in for Benzema, wide for James, who's gone left. Gonzalo Melero stepping into the midfield with Bardi. And now Martí giving Mayoral some company up front. They're being tested defensively. Vinicius just too far. Perfect match for Real Madrid. They did give up the goal. They have yet to have a clean sheet this season. Goal to Celta, goal to Valladolid, and 2 against Villarreal. Nice by Bardi. Gets it back, edge of the 18. He will settle for the corner. Militao sliding across. So much attention focused in on the arrival of Hazard. The young Brazilian by way of Porto might be a bigger one on the defensive side. Bardi across. Cleared away into the middle. Blast from distance by Clerc. Real blocks, but Levante gets it back. Campagna.
Big challenge.
James got the ball. Kroos with company. Takes it himself. Vinicius sneaks it in. James blocked away. Desperate defending.
They appreciate the great efforts, the great athleticism of James there, and that's not what he's about. But he gets from one side of this pitch to the other and throws the keys to Toni Kroos, who found Vinicius, who found this Envigado man.
Marcelo. Kroos looking for a fourth, almost to Hazard. Borja dropping back, sending it long for Jose Lu, deceptively fast.
Got to get this.
Gets there before Carvajal, and then to the inside, Morales. Cross. Deflected wide, Carvajal scrambling back defensively.
Well played by Jose Luis here. And certainly Carvajal knows he's got to take it by the tail. Keeps a hold of it. Eventually, there's this wonderful challenge by the Colombiano. Clean is Neutrogena.
Final 15 minutes approach. Martí harassing Courtois a bit. Played low, Morales. Campaña.
Good ball.
Across. Oh. Headed down. Headed home. The goal from the substitute, Melero, and it's a one-goal game.
Comes down to the service again. How much does he pick Melero out on that back post? Well, they don't care, because it's being drawn into one-goal game now. I think he's actually picking the back post out, Phil. And Melero locks his focus onto it like a hungry hawk looking for his dinner. And with more like 20 minutes to go, this game is being pulled tighter and tighter. Tremendous crossfield pass and beautiful dispatch. No chance for Courtois.
So a debut goal for Gonzalo Melero in his first season from relegated Huesca. And they might not be done yet. Ardi's pass a little behind Mayoral. And notice, Ray, that cross sailing through to a side that would have been marked by Sergio Ramos. We'll take a look and find out where Militao was, but Melero found the opening, and now all of a sudden the fans a bit nervous. Advantage had been played. Melero draws the foul. 33-time champions against a team that has finished no higher than 6th in their 110-year history. A draw 2 years ago. A victory last year. Can they make it 3 in a row unbeaten? One back. Was Bardi onside? Yes. Melero got the shot away, but sends it wide. Some whistles from the crowd.
Well, as I was saying, the second half started, Phil. They came out rather tawdry, I think was the description, and whatever adjective you want to use, it was lackadaisical. The focus wasn't quite there. That fourth goal being taken off the score sheet opened up a door.
Here's the candidates for our forward man of the match. Benzema, Casemiro, and Vasquez for Real. Borja for Levante. Cast your vote at BN Sports USA on Twitter. We'll announce the winner at the end of the game. Of course, there might be a late hero at this rate.
I'll see.
And again, you look at the players out there. Martí, Mayoral, Morales, Rochina.
Great run.
And Hazard put paid to the comeback. Sweeps for Benzema, who returns the favor. Driving in on Miramon. Vasquez squares.
Nicely.
Thomas bends. Tried to caress it.
Our first blot of his copybook here. Nice setup again. Simple square ball. I expected Benzema certainly to hit the target there.
For all of the fan clubs for Real Madrid and Levante who have gotten up early. Probably someone out there in Alaska or Hawaii who probably didn't even bother going to bed. We're glad you did. Levante faithful have to like what they're seeing from the Granote here today.
Well, what's going to be looking like a real whitewash at half-time. And even when the changes came in, I think they would have certainly added to this scoreline, Real Madrid. It's gone the other way. You love football.
2 goals and just 3 shots in the second half for Levante. Swept wide by Vesel. But through the players, says the ref. 22-5, Real Madrid leading in shots, but it's just a single goal on the scoreboard.
A strong challenge by Ruben and a clean one.
Looked like that from here, but the Burgos saw different.
Yeah.
First caution against the visitors. Looking for Benzema, deflected. Chance for Morales. Vasquez trying to fight him off, but Morales sneaks in and picks his pocket. Carvajal across. Drives past the right back. Trying to sneak the cross in. He'll settle for the corner.
Oh, Morales there. A wonderful run down that far side, and then the window of opportunity opens, and in a blink of a bee's eye it closes. There's that other wonderful run by Eden Hazard earlier. Great catapult. What a phenomenal save that was by Aitor.
And then the other side, Morales.
But Morales had Roger Marti wide open there.
Courtois standing in the center of his 6. Kroos keeping an eye on Marti. Bardi high. Out comes Courtois and grabs it at the high point. Beso scrambling to get back. Hazard looking for Benzema, but stolen away by Postigo. Morales up the line. If they can use him, they do. 2 in the middle. Takes the touch, trying to sneak through, and Varane plucks it away.
It's a second situation where Levante has had an open player, but again, it's momentary, and they're not finding them like they did on their 2 goals to start this comeback, and it's shut down by Real Madrid. Oh, it's a thin line between gambling quickly with an open pass and being a little bit more hesitant.
Ray, you pointed it out earlier how great this game was looking for Real Madrid, but can you imagine what the papers will say tomorrow? Vinicius trying to rewrite headlines. Puts it around Miramon. Benzema looking for a third. Kroos. James over the crossbar. Remember, they had the 3-1 against Celta Vigo to start, but then held for a draw against Valladolid, had to come back, and then drop points against Villarreal. Final change of the day, and it will be Luka Jovic, straight swap for Karim Benzema. The hat-trick will have to wait.
Well, here in the love today is Karim Mustafa Benzema. 2-goal contribution, but more than that, that man knows his football and knows exactly how a player has to work hard, and he certainly did that today for not just his goals, but his inclusion in the other goal as well for Casemiro. It was the thunder at the end of that lightning attack. It was Benzema that started all the dominoes falling. So well played, Big Benz.
Luka Jovic, 27 goals in all competitions for Eintracht Frankfurt last year. But his first 3 appearances for Real Madrid have been rather forgettable. Headed away at the last moment by Veso. Will he get his debut goal here today and give Zidane a chance to breathe? Again, part of the magic of La Liga Santander. Even the minnows have teeth. Aitor drops. Cleared by Campagna. Rahal for Kroos. Back down the line for Vasquez. Hazard. Trying to sneak it in. Militao out for the throw-in. When Vinicius slammed it into the net, it looked like Real Madrid could put the 3 points in their pocket, but the goal wiped out. Melero adds a second for Levante, and it's nail-biting time in the 85th minute. Porto man wide. Marcelo for James, who has been active.
They've been a nicely involved game throughout these whole 85 minutes, Phil, from James. Still polishing his game up, still fitting into the whole dynamic of the team, but played well.
Vasquez carries for James.
Beautiful.
Right foot roller, but Aitor saw it going wide.
This time he goes for Hans Wallace bouncing bomb on the deck. Lovely ball played in. Beautiful caress inside, and then a daisy cutter. Close.
By the way, of interest here, Real Madrid going with Toni Kroos at that holding midfield spot.
See that heat map there for Campagna? It was him that set up the goal for Melero, Phil, with a beautiful pass. We'll see it again. Maybe another goal to review. Here's Real Madrid coming at them.
Wide for Vinicius. Again, back on the left.
He doesn't force it either. I thought he might have been able to take on his defender there with that much space behind him. The quickness of him.
Marcelo made
so
the move.
impressive. Such a speedster with the ball at his feet.
Over Jovic, easy grab Fernandez. Last year, Real Madrid had Marcos Llorente, a bit of a legacy in the Real Madrid system, but now he's crosstown at Atletico. So with Valverde unavailable, Casemiro pulled, Toni Kroos is going to have to try and keep that dam from collapsing. Bardi hurdles the teeth. Campagna looking for movement. Miramon. Bardi. Around Marcelo. Morales again gets inside. Walking the tightrope, but Marcelo was there first.
Well played.
To the midfield, pops up, stolen off Jovic. Campagna spinning away Martí. Morales knew he would have been offside, so instead of a free kick, it'll be a throw-in, which Levante will pressure.
What a ball. And Carvajal all over him at that back post, but the ball beats Carvajal. Not as much of his defending. Of course, the cynics will say he should have been closer, but such an exquisite ball, pinpoint accurate from Campagna.
And answering my question earlier, you saw Varane and Militao had both been marking at that front post. Credit to the service, credit to the substitutions. Paco Lopez and Levante have made this a game. Kind of have a feeling there's still a goal left
Oh,
almost through the legs. Hazard over on the right-hand side now. Vardy reaches in and commits the foul.
doesn't have to be the man like he has been at Chelsea for so long, especially in his last season, which was one of his best at Chelsea. Now he's a part of this Aladdin's Cave, Phil, and that should further accent Eden Hazard's ability to be an impactful player.
Take a look at our forward man of the match, and hard to argue with the 2 goals from Karim Benzema, but will it be enough? And again, 12 of the 25 goals Real Madrid have scored since Zidane's return have been from Karim Benzema.
And the finish on those 2 goals was so clean and clinical, but it was the work that he does to get in those positions that won't show up in any of the statistics, and the constant threat that he brings when he's moving like he has done today, Benzema. And for me, one of the hardest workers in Real Madrid. You don't have to be that sort of industrious midfielder. Forwards work so hard, and then the pressure comes to bear where they have got to finish off their chances, or they will be held to ridicule. And Benzema did it all. When he plays like he did today, he brings a big, wonderful toolbox that's very difficult to contain, no matter who he plays against. But against Levante today, got a little bit more space and time, no question. But still, Levante knocking at the door here. 5 minutes left. Good ball.
Up steps Miramon. Launches it across. Cleared by Varane. In the box, Vardy tries to settle. But now Vinicius the other way. Miramon scrambling.
Good ball.
Gets it through for Jovic. Back for the young Brazilian. Hamas wants, but they can't get it there. Up until 2 seasons ago, Levante had only 1 result at the Santiago Bernabeu in their entire history. Looking to make it 3 in a row if they can find another goal here today.
Militao coming in here heavy and claiming he got the ball. He did not. Comes through the player. Referee right on top of it. A good set ball position here.
The one thing you can say, this Real Madrid is entertaining. They know how to build the drama. 5 minutes added.
We saw what Campagna can do, and he can deliver balls like he did for Malero. Here's another good ball.
Diving header slapped away Courtois. Another chance for Jose Lu. Morales through the middle, but no one there to pounce.
Fortunately for Real Madrid, this ball is directly at Courtois. Another angle, 2 degrees of separation, and that may have been flashing by, but it's straight at Courtois. It's an easy save. But that set piece not well defended. That'll do with the confidence of Courtois. A lot of good for sure.
Wise from Vinicius to drop it back and bleed the clock a bit. First save for Thibaut Courtois comes in the 92nd minute, and it might have just saved a victory. Vinicius wide. And even then, Jose Luis Morales picking up the rebound and screaming it across the 6, but no one there to bury it. This one's not done yet. Carvajal and Morales. Morales and Carvajal. Rodriguez make that. Now back to Varane, and he'll retreat all the way. Even some of the Real Madrid faithful want to see a bit more bravery. Would have been offside. Courtois' clearance gives the ball back to Levante.
Campagna's delivery is fantastic. And then Ruben Veso comes in, and I tell you what, Militao does enough to get there. Militao deserves as much credit as Courtois. And even so, Phil, all you youngsters listening, you're coming in on a header like that, if you can get it down into like a V shape off of the ground, I think it's a better chance of beating a goalkeeper. But he doesn't have time to adjust his gyroscope on his header, of course, but very, very close to the equaliser there.
Up steps Postigo, slots it through around Marcelo. Morales looking for the near post himself, and he almost pulled a rabbit out of the hat.
Would have been a peacock. He goes for the audacious hit home. He sees Courtois leading the other way. It's a brilliant ball again. Very close.
You can see Martí begging for the ball at the back, but Morales with some magic.
Now, magic is being delivered by Campagna again. The pace and accuracy of that pass again. Wonderful from the ex-Sevilla. What a footballer. Campagna, 26-year-old Phil, Spanish youth international, still got to play for Avoria Roja. But in this performance today, man, imagine a lot of big clubs, bigger than Levante, looking at it. This man on the ball, lovely footballista.
As you said, Eibar to come, then a trip to Betis, then Osasuna and Leganés. So better matchups to come. Real Madrid, though, has to go to Paris and Seville in their next two matches for Europe and Spanish glory. Final seconds ticking away, and Real Madrid will escape. Paco wondering, does anyone know how to take a throw-in around here?
Whatever he did at half-time, Phil, he certainly lit another blue touch paper as the referee calls for full-time. Braveheart performance by Levante, who looked as if they were going to be the whipping boys for Real Madrid, who built a 3-0 lead up and looked like it could be 6 or 7. But they went and hit the snooze button, and they couldn't beat Aitor again. Well played, Paco's man. Zidane escapes with a good win.
Real with a 3-0 lead at the half, and they needed them all. 3-2 the final.
La Liga was brought to you in part by Ford. Llega más lejos.
¿A dónde irías si pudieras ir a cualquier parte? ¿A quién llevarías si pudieras llevar a cualquier persona? ¿Qué harías cuando llegues a lo desconocido? Lo desconocido. Check. Nueva Ford Explorer, el vehículo explorador más grande de todos los tiempos.
Whose dog is this?
It's my special friend Antonio. His luxurious fur calms my nerves when I'm worried about moving into our new apartment.
Why don't we just ask Geico for help with renter's insurance?
I didn't know Geico helps with renter's insurance.
Yeah, and we could save a bunch too.
Antonio, fetch computer. Antonio! I'll get it.
Get to know Geico and see how much you could save on renter's insurance.
Tell him we're flexible. Don't worry. My Dutch is okay. Just okay? Mm-hmm. Deze man is erg super. Tell him we need this merger. En hij heeft een knuffel nodig. Knuffel?
It's happening.
Just okay is not okay, especially when it comes to your network. AT&T is America's best wireless network according to America's biggest test. Now with 5G Evolution, the first step to 5G. More for your thing. That's our thing.
Wandering through secret hills and telling stories round the grill. From lazing out on peaceful docks to raging to a band that rocks. You never know just where in life Corona cans might take you now. Food truck food on city nights with neon burning bright. Digging for Corona cans in coolers full of ice. Never-ending summer nights with cold cans of Corona Light. You never know just where in life Corona cans might take you now.
What a start for Real Madrid. Aitor Fernandez keeping them at bay until Karim Benzema finally knocked the wall down. Casemiro giving them what appeared to be a garbage goal at the end of the first half, but it turned into gold after a comeback from Levante fell just short. 3-2, Real Madrid victorious.
Coming up.
Lowe's knows you're the type who does it right, who knows a hobby can also be an investment. We do it right too, with a lifetime warranty on Craftsman, so you can count on passing it down. Now save $20 on a Craftsman mechanics tool set. Do it right for less. Start with Lowe's.
Dad, wake up!